Hey guys, this is DK Spencer and this is a Byrna TCR. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to do a couple little quick tutorials for people so when you get stuff you're not completely lost. Alright, so here's where the CO2 goes. Okay. Whenever you get one, and every time you put a new CO2 in, put you a little drip of oil right there, or spray you some silicone lube back in where it goes. I put it like that so that the oil won't fall off. Right? Then let it fall back into the hole and lock her down. That's very important. If you try to do it when it's still forward, your door won't close and you'll force it and you'll break something. Okay, so now we've closed it. Now, one of the most common things when people gets a new launcher, one of the most common things they do is they geek out thinking they've broke it or that it doesn't work. The mags are broke. The mags are junk. Let me show you why they think that. Most of the less lethal launchers that you get are made in a way that when you put the magazine in them, when you take it back out, 2 balls will fall out. FSCs do that, TCRs do that, Tip-X's do that, Byrna SDs and HDs do not do that. VKS's do that, M17s do that. You get the pattern, you get the picture. So that's nothing wrong with anything. That's to be expected. Okay, that's just how it is. So make sure that you're not trying to mag check all the time with these things, JC. All right, so you've got that in there. You got your safety on. These whole 13 rounds, those are Jewel V2s. You insert them like so. Okay, there is a chronograph, and so cut your safety off. When you pull your trigger and release it, you hear that snap. That means you're engaged. Okay, let's see what this puppy will do. Golly. Shh. Wait for it. 382. Dang. I won't get too excited. Yeah, I'm using lighter balls. Dang. Alright, but still. 382. What's that? 53 joules. 382, 53 joules. Okay. Now here. Check it. Man, that thing is still. 149. Byrna territory. 130. Sub-Byrna. 107. Alright, so that's it. Alright. Alright, now, your mag's empty. Okay, so, right, out of gas, right? Wait for it. I got a little overzealous there, but because it did it just as I started to do it. Okay, anyway, wait a second after you've done this, and typically it's going to click, and you'll have to shoot it again, right? After you shoot it, after the click and the second shot, that's the perfect time. Point it straight down, straight freaking down. Go ahead and cut your safety on, but point it straight down and open your door, okay? After all the hissing's done, then you can drop this thing out, rinse and repeat. Now, there is one other thing. If you really want to keep your CO2 seal from... See, okay, so what happens? CO2 canisters have liquid CO2 in them, right? So a couple of things happen. And the first one of these I had, I got it, actually the one I got off of David Vargas, Less Lethal Personal Defense. Nothing wrong with the launcher whatsoever, but I got a little overzealous and, you know, whoop, whoop, whoop. And I called it. I said it would happen in the video before I even did it. But so anyway, you've got to either do, you know, you've got to point it tip down, because the liquid CO2, so if you have it sideways, you have it up or anything like that, when you do it, the liquid CO2 is going straight in that seal, and it's going to just freeze it. And a lot of times it'll either freeze it, stick it to this, or just freeze it and it'll come out, whatever. Anyway, when that happens, then you're not gonna, the next one you put in won't puncture. So very important to do that. Now, here is another thing. If you want to be super duper good and know that you never have to worry about it, obviously in a, you know, defense situation, this might not be feasible, but you get you a tiny little Allen key, and I carry one of these with any of the cases of these if I have them. So, and with that, you can put it right in there, and you find a little hole in the center of your velocity adjustment screw and let it go down in the center of it, in that tiny little hole, and you push down and it'll go psss, and you can hold that down, and when it quits hissing, open that. And that's a very, very good way also. Still needs to be pointed down, but that's a really good way to maintain your seals. Biggest thing that you got to worry about with these, in my opinion, is that problem right there. And it's not a problem if you do it if you do everything the right way, but it is pretty much guaranteed that it will be a problem if you don't do it the right way. So anyway, so that's what you do. And again, you know, when you put your next one in, put you some lube on it, put it in, let it fall back, then close your door and rock and roll. So there you go. Okay, one more thing, and this is very important. Well, it's not one more thing, a couple more things. They all tie together. This is the only kind of CO2 that you should ever use in any of your less lethal stuff. I mean, I'm sorry. I've tried a lot of different stuff, and I haven't tried everything. But I'm telling y'all, like, from the standpoint of, like, the stuff they sell at Walmart, like Crosman and Daisy, don't put that junk in your stuff, okay? Now, like, some of the Vulcan and stuff like that might be all right, but I'm telling you, people that chase jewels on stuff and then use Daisy CO2 are crazy, because I'm going to tell you what, you're going to lose more power using Daisy versus this than you probably are modding the doggone thing. I have, and this is no joke, I have had a TCR that I was shooting these in, that I would finish the entire mag, period, and put a Daisy in it and got like 6 or 7 shots. And I'm not kidding. And that's happened more than once. I will never, ever buy Daisy again. Ever, ever, ever. So if you guys get, and I've actually had somebody get an FSC and like me test it right before I shipped it, and then them test it and be like, wow, dude, this isn't near as strong as what it was when you shot it. And I'm like, what kind of CO2 are you using, Daisy? There you go. I'm telling you. So here's another thing. Here's the really important thing about the TCRs and why this even matters more. CO2s are not all the exact same length. Some are slightly different. These are a little on the longer side as far as I can tell. And the reason I say that is, if I use these and then I throw in a Crosman or a Daisy, one of the two almost always leaks and you have to adjust the screw. Okay? Which is good. That way I know if I accidentally pick up the one that I don't want to be using. But, you know, I'm just saying. You're going to not only... You want to stick to the same brand, because it's going to... This brand is just great. Whatever. But you want to stick to the same brand anyway, because... You don't want to, because you're not going to know, like, unless you've tried that exact one before. Okay, what I'm saying is, right, you're using these, right, and then you throw a Daisy in, close it, and you take it and put it in your car and you're ready for use, right? You're not going to know that this isn't adjusted until you pierce it. When you pierce it and it's going, and people are looking at you going, so are you going to give me your wallet or what? Because you're not scaring me with your little hissy toy. That's when you find out that it's not adjusted right for that one. So very important, in my opinion, to always stick with the same brand, and that's the brand that I think is absolutely the best. The cleanest, the most power, everything all the way around. I won't spend money on anything else anymore ever, period. So, quality CO2 matters. CO2 guns, temperature matters, very dependent. Listen, I'll tell you. I was shooting one, the CO2s are at 74 degrees, and I was hitting 51 joules. I shot some with the exact same brand of CO2, the exact same marker, and the CO2 was at like 68, somewhere around in there, like 67, 68, something like that. Dropped it down to like 44 joules in the exact same marker. It's a big difference. So when you get these things, number one, realize that if you're testing them in cold or even cool CO2, that they're going to be less, right? I test mine at I keep mine at room temperature in this room, which is like 72 to 74 degrees. But like if you're testing them with something that's been out in the cold or whatever, even in a cold, cool basement or whatever, it'll make a big difference on this stuff. So that's something to remember. Old CO2, if you got a bunch of old stuff laying around from when you were in high school and you're getting back into this, to just throw that crap away and buy some new good stuff. It's and what I was going to say, the flip side of that is too, and I've said this in other videos, but if you're using cool CO2 when you're tuning one, and then you go out on put it in a car in a hot summer day, and you go to shoot it, if you got it to the brink of destruction, right? You've got it every joule it'll possibly handle at room temperature in your house when you're tuning it, and then you got it out in your hot car. I got news for you. You just gained a whole lot of power. Now, you probably ain't going to hold that power, so probably what's going to happen is you're going to pop an O-ring when you engage. So something else to remember, when that CO2's hot, you're putting a whole lot more power into your marker. So if you're already tuned to the max it can handle anyway, you're getting ready to blow something up. So something to think about. This is DK Spencer, DK Spencer Custom Kinetics. Please like and subscribe, and ain't that pretty?